You read Aquaman, right? Good.
When I was a child, yeah.
You did.
Yeah,
Well,
those
guess
ones.
what? It was saying that Aquaman was the ruler of the planet because the whole planet was water. You see, time never was when man was not. And before it became water, how did it get to be water? Fire. And fire hooked up with what?
Air.
We call it gas.
Gas.
And what happens was it creates a steam and you get precipitation. And that is the water. And that's how this thing became a sphere of water. Something held that water together until finally the thing stuck its head up out of the water. You understand? Time never was when man was not. So at some point, when there was a ball of fire, that was Sue's brother. What's his name? Torch?
Human torch.
Yeah. And at some point, thought was the cause of it all. So that must be Dr. Reed Richards. Mr. Fantastic. And he's like water.
He's fluid.
He's fluid.
Knowledge.
So, yes. And it's symbolic of the planet when it was Gaia. And Gaia becomes Sophie. And Sophie is wisdom.
Philosophy.
And you have to get knowledge in order to get to wisdom. And philosophy is the love of wisdom. Sophie and the love of Sophie together. You understand? Now, understand, usually I don't go this fast taking anybody anywhere. The reason that he's getting it is because, how long you been coming now? 6, 7 years?
10 at least.
And he has been picking up piece by piece, abstract by abstract, and you put it together slowly. Don't be in a rush thinking that you understand, because when you do that, you're going to make mistakes, and then you're going to rush out there trying to tell some other people how to do something, and you're going to be way off. Don't do it. All I can do is do a friendly warning to everybody. But the one thing very key, very important, the few people that have been on this planet, that have come through this, that cared about you and your children, you never want to denigrate them. And that person, that was an angel. And that angel was sent here from what you call God. Yes, ma'am.
When you was talking about with the comic book, I like on the solar system when you say it was about gas. There is a ball of gas.
That's right. That's right. And that's what the atmosphere is. It's a ball of gas. And those gases make up what you call what? 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 They make up what you call what? Air.
The atmosphere.
It's the atmosphere. Well, where does the term atmosphere come from? Look up atmosphere and then look at it, and you'll see atmos right above atmosphere, and then you'll see atman right above that. Go in and look at those things so you can understand. There was once a British, it was a person in India, and he heard them talking about Adman, and he came to understand. And when he started understanding what they were talking about, he brought the word Atmos back to England and put it with the word sphere. And that's where the word atmosphere comes from. All you have to do is look in your dictionaries right there to tell you, to show you how to do this. Huh?
Is a sphere, the vapor around.
That's right. That's right. The vapor is God's breath.
The way that you see Aqua, and it has a definition of, well, actually in the etymology it says breath, soul.
That's right.
So, air.
Well, understand, air is going to become your composition.
Okay.
So somebody tell me how we remember our composition for air. She's frowning So that means somebody gotta help her to know, how do we remember our composition for air? I'll start it out, somebody else pick it up. Never open any closed doors near here. I don't see you writing it. You already knew that, right?
Never open any closed doors near here.
And if you write that vertically like you're doing, never should be nitrogen. So what should open be? Oxygen. Any should be what?
Neon?
Argon.
Or
Never open any.
any, okay.
Argon.
C.
Never. CD is carbon dioxide. So we say closed doors. So rather than be closed doors, make it closed doors. Put it on the same line. You're going vertical. Near is neon. Here is helium. Now don't you not come back in here knowing this, you ain't writing nothing down. I what?
I am.
Okay. What about you, baby? You gonna know this? All right, sugar. What about you girls? All right. Never open any closed doors near here. You got it? I need you to learn that, so soon as you have to think about what is the composition of air, you know. Matter of fact, tell you what, look up air in your dictionaries. Look up air, and you tell me how much nitrogen is in air.
Near here.
How much nitrogen is in air? So I tell you what I'm gonna do, Brandon, and a man called Hawk, get a T. And when you come to a T, if you don't shape the mouth for T or TH, you'll get D. Because T is interchangeable with D. And that's why thunder in German is what? Donner. That's right. Donner and Blitzen. Thunder and lightning. Go ahead on, son.
Listen, yep.
Did you go and you looked it up, didn't you? Well, you know.
Same reason you did and W.
That's what I just said. You looked it up, didn't you?
Looked at the funny chart before, yes, sir.
Good. Good.
Thunder.
Yes.
Let's read.
And Volkswagen is Volkswagen. And if you start understanding this, the same way you can do with transliterating German, you'll be able to do it with French and Spanish and Italian and Portuguese, and you'll be rolling. And I need you to roll. Are you practicing with that golf club?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What's the A, Dr. Black?
What's the what?
The A in it.
The what? Argon.
Argon.
Yeah. Hey. All right, so you got, now everybody you got to learn that because that's going to be part of what you're learning when you're learning different things to help you with your anatomy physiology. So if you know these, you're learning these and you're actually making them operational, the time will come when I'll ask you to learn a physical anatomy chart. You'll be able to go in a short time, you'll teach yourself all the nerves in the body, all the skeletons of the body, all the bones, everything. And you'll know how to do it. But if you won't do something as simple as just teach yourself the composition of air, then I'm just going to call you what you are, lazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
I
So-
got one question to ask.
Yes,
In
yes.
regards to when you said, the whole earth was a ball of water, so is there any truth to Atlantis being a real city?
Hold on. When you asking me, is there any truth to something? I don't know what is any truth to anything. I say that you have to learn how to true truth for yourself.
What is the
Once you do that, you can
carbon
go in
dioxide,
and
closed door.
investigate Atlantis and Lemuria and all of the rest of those places that people have developed thoughts about that may have been around before this particular ice age. In other words, there was possibly 5 different periods that were ice ages where things totally disappeared and they renewed. It is thought that the last bottleneck that the planet got down to 10,000 people. And now we're back up to 7 billion.
and helium.
So that means that this is maybe about to happen again real soon.
That was in an episode of Justice League, a movie.
Was it?
Yes, it was Justice League Doom.
Well, I know this. In every book of every religion, you'll find that the planet totally disappeared. All the people on the planet disappeared. In the Bible, it's the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. In the Quran, you'll find a story that's very similar to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. In the Bhagavad Gita, you'll find a story about Krishna and a war that takes place that destroys all the people. Now, all of these stories, 9 times out of 10, they're metaphors. They're stories. And you have to learn how to, so I can't tell you what's true. I can't tell you about, I do know that off the coast of Bimini, I think it is, or near the Bahamas, they have found an area beneath the sea, beneath the Atlantic Ocean, that they're suggesting may be remnants of Atlantis. I don't really know. I don't. But I know that they had no way of knowing what was going on the dark continent until in the late 17 and early 1800s. And so all this stuff about white folks went in and took Africans out of Africa, that's nonsense. That is the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever heard in my life. And every time I hear Negroes say it, you know what it makes me know? It makes me know they was too dumb to do some just research and find out that that's impossible.
It's the same thing. The Willie Lynch letter too is starting.
That's impossible. That could be, and neither could it be that they went into Africa and took African people out.
So what?
That's nonsense. What happened?
What was the purpose behind it?
Behind which?
The letter.